Mixed reactions trail fire outbreak at Arawa settlement in Delta State. The early morning inferno that completely razed down Arawa settlement house quarters in Ubeji, Warri, Delta State has continued to raise concerns. The fire was said to have made occupants scamper for safety. It was gathered that the quick intervention of some residents in the area prevented the fire from spreading to a nearby school, residential houses, and a dual-story building under construction around the market. Efforts to trace the reason for the fire outbreak are still shrouded in secrecy, raising suspicion that there could be a conspiracy. However, the victims suspected connivance among youth as there is controversy over the ownership of the land. The leader of the Hausa community in the market, Alhaji Ibrahim, said the cause of the fire, which allegedly broke out around 4 a.m. and destroyed the market and makeshift structures accommodating hundreds of Arawa settlers, is yet to be ascertained. He also lamented the devastating effects of the fire outbreak on the people. A victim, Baba Ali, said he has prayed to God to take control and would not do anything about the sad incident, saying his neighbors who suffered the same fate years ago and spent money in pursuing the case didn't get anything out of it. Sad. And I understand that, because you might have the money, but then really and truly, you also, in a way, depending on how intense or high risk or high profile the case is, you might need even just names and high connections. Yeah. Ali said, I have since resolved not to pay for security again. How can a market be guarded and yet gutted with fire? How can fire start from a shop and you'd claim you don't know how it started? Another victim, simply known as Mohammed, said he lost his foodstuff running into thousands of naira in the inferno. He said, my landlord told me to file a police report and court affidavit, and the police said they would look into it. I'm still waiting for their response. Mohammed noted that it was sad that they could suffer such a sad occurrence at a time when they can't succor amidst the persistent increase in price of goods in the country. A victim popularly known as Alhaji, while narrating his experience the leadership weekend, said, when I came to my shop, I was very sad that my goods were razed by the inferno. I felt very bad and I went to meet the guards. We called civil defense and they told me not to worry. I went to the police station to make a report. To date, I haven't heard from them. However, a boutique owner, Paul Matthew, who hails from Jalingo, alleged that some people were culpable in setting the market ablaze. Paul, whose shop also got burnt, said, if you ask me who was responsible, I will tell you that some people were responsible without batting an eyelid. It is clear, if not, how can all these shots be raised at that time of the night? When I asked why they hadn't nabbed the perpetrators, they asked me to calm down so that they would investigate the matter, he said. A resident of the community, Pius Diden, whose home is close to the burnt market, while sympathized with the victims of the inferno, prayed to God to give them the fortitude to bear the loss. Nonetheless, there is no denying the fact that nobody can prove the ownership of the market lands. However, while tracing the history of the crisis, a leadership weekend discovered that the land is engulfed in serious dispute as the owner is said to have sold it to more than a buyer. Why? Why? Including one Papa Akomai, who eventually asked the house to take over the market for businesses and residential purposes. Why would you sell a sold property to multiple buyers? Wait, what? So he scammed all of them because then they all paid the same price for the same thing, or maybe different prices. What is going on? Because that is we ignore that. Meanwhile, what the security agencies are investigating at the moment is to know who sent the arsonists. A native of Ubeji, Samuel Natufe, not real name, said the market may drag the whole of Uroboland to great danger soon if the issue is not properly addressed. He questioned why they should be planning to sell the land to Fulanis. According to him, first, the Fulani vowed never to share the market with members of the community. If you go there today, you'll be amazed at what is going on there. They have been dividing all the stores in the market for themselves and erecting zinc houses there. It will surprise you to know that the owner of the property even warned the union and the youth not to go to the market to collect development fees from them. The last time the local government authority and some occupants whose houses can only be accessed via the market brought waste managers to clean up the market, it will surprise you how Fulani boys came out in numbers and stopped them. An insider disclosed that though the market is believed to be a Hausa market where foodstuff and other household goods are sold, illicit drugs of all sorts and other contraband goods are sold there. The source also hinted that the same folks have also bought a large plot of land along the Uheli-Pantami Express Road between Wetland Hotel and NTA Road, where they are now building a market there. He said, "What saddened me the most when I heard that Yoruba people were now asked to pay for plots to build their small kiosks in the market. If I may ask, what will it profit the kings and chiefs if they eat millions from the traders and expose their people to become slaves, killed, and their whole land taken in no distant time?" Elders of Yoruba land and leaders of Yoruba Progressive Union need to caution these kings and others in the land before everyone will suffer the backlash. I will also suggest that it is time for UPU and other top groups of the Yoruba nation to begin to sensitize kings and chiefs, especially to all kingdoms, to make it mandatory for the heir apparent to any throne to have something doing before ascending the throne, so that they will not be carried away with cheaply. Okay. Yoruba is gradually falling into these people's hands. Chairman of Warri South Local Government Area in Delta State, Dr. Michael Tidi, has insisted on the profiling of occupants of our settlement, Hausa quarters in Ubeji, Warri, saying his administration is determined to know the kind of businesses the occupants do in the makeshift structures. Chidi disclosed this when he dashed to the settlement for an on-the-spot assessment of the damage caused by the fire that allegedly broke out at 4 a.m. the same day. He said that his administration was determined to know the kind of businesses the occupants do in the makeshift structures. The Warri South Local Government boss, Dr. Michael Tidi, who called for a meeting with the owner of the land, the Hausa leaders, the councillor representing Ubeji Ward, Honorable Victor ßØÂNNong, and Commissioner of Police Delta State, Mohammed Ali, said no construction should be done on the land until the police investigation is concluded, despite pressure from the Hausa community and Papa Komai. Wow. I mean, so many things are happening at once, but I hope you have enjoyed this. Put what you think about this, and don't forget to like and subscribe.